our county sheriff's department to provide security there in the building. There also is an understanding that, you know, we need to be reimbursed or compensated for that service. But in your estimation, does this cover our costs for providing the
Oh, absolutely not.
security of the building?
So I'm Lieutenant Packer over that bureau. So no, it doesn't cover the cost, but it does help us cover the cost of those contracts that we have with them. We're actually required by law under the sheriff's statute to provide that be the prior of the court and be there to provide security for the court. So this is just the means in which they can reimburse us through that contract. And this is, they did notify us. We've been to the legislature last year and got some items changed to where it's been put into the regular budget for the state. And hopefully in the future it will increase. But at this point, they've told us that they would try and get us what they gave us last year. But with the current conditions, you know, that may change. And Sheriff Smith may.
If I can add, Sheriff Smith. I just want to add that we, namely Meldon, or Eldon, sorry, we work on this every year up at the state legislature because, you know, your sentiments that you're asking, we agree with. And it's honestly, it's just a fight every year to get what we get. And it is a state statute, but we'll continue to do that.
What is the feedback that they give? I mean, and so in some ways I'm hearing, you know, and they could say, oh, well, actually, you're just required by law, so we don't have to give you anything. But the fact that this is even broken down into an hourly rate and hours, it would suggest that they're open to, okay, what's your cost? But there's just a gap. You know what I mean? It's not, sometimes it's like, no, that's yours or that's ours. Rarely do you kind of see this, okay, it's yours, but we're going to pay you, but not for all of it. What is the feedback you get when you push to have the cost fully covered?
I think that the problem we have is that the state law says we will do it, but it says nothing about any reimbursement. So we're really at the legislature's mercy as to what they will pay. And when they're looking at all the other competing interests and people asking for money, we just become part of that pie that gets cut up. And
You know, I've spent some time up there. I think I was up there with you testifying. Was it 2 years ago testifying, you know, before the committee? And we're all on the same page with this one. It's problematic. And in talking with the legislators on an individual basis with it, what I hear from them is that it's your people. It's your people that are in these jails, and they're not necessarily, and they're from different cities. So it's all over the county. And so the sheriff's department is the one, and they have no appetite. I mean, they just have no appetite from talking on an individual basis to do more. The question always comes into play of what is the level of security, and that's going to be determined by the sheriff, you know, on what that level of security is. It could be modified, but you know, we don't want to modify to a point to where it becomes detrimental and we have something happen. I think a balance in there is probably a correct approach. But going to the state on this one, it's a real uphill battle. I'm appreciative, and I can't remember that gentleman's name from the state that was fighting with us on it.
Chris Palmer.
Chris Palmer. I mean, he seems to be the one that's really trying to help out and trying to find ways for us with it. But I feel the same pain that it's problematic.
and I agree, you have to weigh it out. I look at my position as a sheriff or the state mandates, and you're exactly right, Commissioner Lee. It doesn't necessarily say how good of service we have to give them, right? But at the same time, I've been elected to provide safety for this community. And, you know, it's a heavy weight to say I'm going to play games with that language and not provide adequate security to keep our citizens safe. So we do it, and we do it the right way, and we hope the state will do the right thing and fund us better.
But they haven't suggested that. I mean, that's really, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to look at this. And in some ways, based on what you're saying, if it's a statutory requirement, you could just say, hey, we're grateful to the state for what, you know, what they are providing. But that's why I just wanted to bring this up and focus on a little bit more of the detail, because you could read this that way to say, oh, if they're saying that's the appropriate level, maybe they're suggesting we should staff it and secure it at a different level. But you've never received that feedback.
No.
No. Okay. Thank you.